All right, we are here with our friend Joel Simkins from XST Capital. And Joel, we're really happy to have you back as a supporter of the Starties this year. You and the firm were early believers in this concept last year when we launched the award show. And great to have you back. But before we get into everything we're looking forward to next week in New York, for the folks watching and listening, tell them who XST Capital is, what your firm does, and kind of what your focus is insofar as the early stage ecosystem.
Sure. Great to be back, Jesse, and awesome to be sponsoring such a great event with the Starties again in 2026. As you mentioned, we were a founding sponsor last year. So, X Capital Group is really what we view as the premier digital gaming investment banking boutique on Wall Street. And X is really a play on words. It means X Wall Street. While we are a startup, well, actually, we're not really a startup anymore. We're almost 2 years old. We started in May of 2024. I've been at this for close to 30 years, spent the first 17 years of my career as one of the top equity research analysts in the gaming industry. 10 years ago, I transitioned to becoming an investment banker. I launched really X as a way to serve emerging companies in the digital gaming ecosystem. We're typically focusing on businesses from a 25 million enterprise value up to about $250 million. And that's three pillars. One, providing, best in class M&A execution advice. Secondarily, capital raising support, debt and equity raises for early stage companies, let's say seed, late seed, up to, B round capital as well as debt. And then third, strategy. And that's all sorts of other advice, whether it's investor relations support, business development projects, HR and recruiting, really, and a litany of services available. But, since we've launched the firm, it went from myself at my kitchen table in May of 2024. And now we're close to a team of almost a dozen professionals, all bringing different levels of industry expertise and advice, senior advisors, really field experts around M&A execution strategy. And it's really been, stealing from sort of the, our clients' page. It's really delivering, we've really filled a product market fit, and the market has really embraced our services. We've got, almost a dozen clients at this point.
Well, as you said, Joel, almost 30 years doing what you've been doing, focusing on the industry. Over that time, I assume you've seen it all. And here in early 2026, things are as hectic as ever, all sorts of stuff happening. At a 10,000 foot altitude here, what are some of the broader industry trends you're keeping an eye on right now? Part B to that question, Joel, talking about the M&A focus of the firm. What are some of the verticals within the industry that you got your eye on right now you think are the hottest from an M&A perspective?
Yeah, well, we're going to announce a number of exciting, completed transactions pretty shortly. I obviously can't say what those are, but we're also quite active in as some of the verticals you would most expect. One is the prediction markets. We're live on a couple of transactions in the space. Obviously, that is the topic du jour in the gaming industry these days. Secondarily, there's a number of transactions we're working on in the betting tool space. That's an area that I think you're going to see rapid consolidation in the sector. You obviously have a lot of businesses, particularly in the affiliate world, that are looking to pivot, to recast the narrative, to add on complementary recurring revenue businesses. So those are two categories that are quite active, but we see a lot of activity coming in the space. Again, really going back to this prediction markets trend of how is that impacting everybody else, whether you're in the sweepstakes business, you're in DFS plus, everybody is taking a step back and realizing, okay, I've got my business at this level. Maybe it's time to transition, tack on these different complementary businesses, and really make sure I'm well positioned ultimately for the long term. And I also think that would extend into iGaming. iGaming was maybe less of an exciting category in the last couple of years, but given the change that's going to come through the growth in the prediction markets, we think iGaming, particularly from a regulated perspective, is going to take off this year. We think a number of jurisdictions are going to accelerate and legalize iGaming, and that could certainly deliver another leg of growth to the industry this year and into 2027.
All right, and taking us home here, look, in a few days, we'll all be congregating in New York. I know for you, not much of a commute for some of us traveling a little bit further, a bit of a journey, but looking forward to being there next week and seeing you and everybody. When we're all there, Joel, what are you looking forward to in New York next week, both from a Starties perspective and as well from a broader conference perspective with the next New York City Summit?
Yeah, I think Next has really become one of these signature events in the entire gaming industry. There's obviously no shortages of conference in this sector, depending on where you want to travel. It's obviously great when it's in your backyard, and we're going to be playing a pretty big role in that, where we're doing our own event before the Starties with less alcohol, more relaxing. We're hosting a yoga event for clients. Some folks have probably seen that invite go out. But the Starties and what you and the team have really put together is just a great event to have fun, socialize with people, meet early stage companies, build relationships, have a great time. And one of the things we pride ourselves on at X Capital is we're not the traditional investment bank. We don't take ourselves that seriously. While we obviously value our clients, that we focus on serious transactions. At the end of the day, we want to have fun and build relationships. And there's really no better event to get to meet people like the Starties.
Well, it's going to be a great way for everybody to kick off the week in New York. And we're very grateful to X Capital for helping us to put it on through the sponsorship. So thank you once again, Joel. Looking forward to seeing you and the team at the Starties and wishing you a successful conference week ahead.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.